we would have called it. You know?
Caught it. But it's all good.
Yeah, we good.
All right, so episode 39, 40, 37, 38?
34.
34?
Man, today's a sad one, bro.
What happened?
I've been in my feels all day.
Because Kobe?
Because Kobe.
Is that why you've been off a little bit today?
Yeah, for real.
Because I was about to ask you, like, yo, you've been a little off, bro.
Yeah, bro. I've been crying the past 2 days, a day and a half, like crazy.
You really crying?
Bro, yeah, Kobe meant a lot to me, dog.
You really cried?
Balling, bro.
Say swear to God.
Swear to God. Every time I see the headline, every time I see a video, bro, I'm out. I'm done. Bro.
You capping right now.
For real, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was crying too.
You were?
Yo, so
I just like.
This is weird because it's like
I feel like I lost an uncle, bro.
Type shit.
You know
and like you know, it really hit me, bro. Like guys, like I'm not trying to sound like a savage, or whatever, but normally when people die, whether it's close family and friends, I'm kind of really like don't really show emotion or it doesn't really affect me. It like is weird because I'm not scared of dying, I'm not scared of death because it happens. So I have this weird kind of like, oh, people die. So I never get upset or sad, but like when I heard that Kobe died and his little daughter died along with 6 other people in a helicopter, and then you know I was in New York, you know, just got out the Amy Leon Dior store, and which is fire by the way. But then like, you know, New York is crazy because like you see so many people, and I see everyone on their phones. Well, everyone's always on their phones,
right?
But then I started, you know, doing the West Michigan thing, like you looking at people's phones and shit, and then like everyone's on Twitter, and I see Kobe, and I was like, oh. Duh, because LeBron and Kobe last night. The previous night.
That's what makes this so
That's
crazy.
why it was crazy. I was like, oh, obviously it's trending.
Right.
And then I keep getting texts that Kobe is dead. And I was like, Kobe is not, like, what do you guys mean he's dead? Like, just because LeBron passing y'all? Wild. So then, obviously, you know, you got to go to your main sources to validate everything. So you got to go on Twitter. You don't check CNN, you don't check Fox News, you don't check none of that. You go straight
Google.
to...
You go trending.
You didn't Google anything. No. I was on Twitter.
Yep.
I was let me fucking find out this shit is real, bro. So on Twitter, and I see Kobe died in a plane crash or a helicopter crash. And I was like, oh my God. And literally, bro... I'm not gonna lie. I went to go take a quick leak at a Burger King. Gee, I was in there like tearing the fuck up.
Me too, bro.
Because it hit me so hard, and I was just like. And by the way, the Burger King was right by the World Trade Center, so also it was.
So you were already in the. Emotions.
I was really in a weird mood because like, all these people died. I'm with the homie Liz. Her friend died in the plane crash, so she's obviously a little emotional. And then we getting Kobe, and then just like, and I was just like, man. Even me thinking about it right now, it's like giving me a little fucking.
Me too, bro.
It's getting like someone chopping. Someone chopping onions, little sand in there, and I was like,
it's like I was talking to Liz this morning about it, but I think like for me, right around towards the end of Kobe's career, you could tell that he was kind of naturally progressing. He was focusing on being a father more. Yeah. The ESPN deals and stuff were starting, and so what was the thing about that stood out so much is because that's when I was having my progression into, adulthood or young adulthood, I guess. Yeah. So like when he was starting to change the conversations from basketball to business is, that's when I was having my conversation switch to business, Yeah. So, and then I think the other thing for me is just like he was so fresh on my mind. Yeah. Like last week, the video of him and Gianna at the Lakers game was trending. And everyone was memeing it, talking about, all this stuff. Which is just crazy. And so I'm seeing that, and I'm like, okay, so both of these people are fresh on my mind, and which is crazy because of the daughter. Like, she's on my mind, too.
Think about the train of events.
And then just the night before, Kobe passed LeBron, and, like, this big moment where...
Did he get LeBron shoes or whatever?
No, LeBron was wearing, like, shoes that said Kobe and stuff. Yeah. But, so, like, all this happened, and, Kobe, like... I don't know. I mean, people paint the narrative, however, like Kobe's some bad guy. But, like, we all know, if you really pay attention, he's, like, one of the best people ever. Yeah. And so to see him, embrace LeBron, like, yo, congrats. Like, this is greatness. This is a great moment. Yeah. To me, it's just like, man, like, what a, sad, bro. But, like, what a great way to go out.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like, you went out. I am happy for him that, for one, he was there for his daughter. Yeah. And that she did not pass away alone. Yeah. And I'm happy that he left behind this legacy that I know personally I've been reflecting a lot on today. Yeah. Like Mamba mentality is, I've written it everywhere these past 2 days, but it's like, yo, that phrase actually means something. And it, you know, it's unfortunate when these things have to happen for us to really appreciate people. But I think, you know, this is one of those that I think it's going to be like our 9/11. You know, like we were too young to remember that type of thing. Yeah. But like this is going to be the moment where, you know, you ask me 10 years from now, what were you doing? And I'm going to tell you like, yo, I was in the bathroom bawling my eyes out, and when I walk out and my family standing in the hallway, like checking for me. Yeah. Because they knew, like, you know.
That's crazy because like, you know, I think about being a kid, like who didn't shoot paper wads and saying Kobe? Like if you weren't,
even if you didn't watch hoops,
even if you weren't a publicly Kobe fan, you deep down were. Cause like it was that weird time where like Kobe LeBron was playing and like you gotta kind of pick one who's your favorite player. But like I feel like everyone undeniably was a Kobe fan. Like you just can't disregard greatness. Yeah. And like outside of ball, like I feel like for me, like when I was in New York, it kind of hit me different because I was like, you know, never leave anything on the table because Kobe never did. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like he shouldn't, like if he died a couple of days ago, like I feel like he has no regrets. Like I feel like he's somebody who put everything on the table. Like yes, he still had a second half of business career to go into, but when you think about just his basketball legacy and him going as hard as he went and like him doing like that at 100%, like look at Kobe 4am in the gym. Like he wanted to be the best. He became the best. He's a high performer. Like that's such an amazing legacy. And like I was like, man, there's some days still there is still days for me where, you know, I might not be going as hard. And like I don't want to go out tomorrow or a week or 10 years from now or 30 years from now or 100 years from now without leaving some type of legacy, one, and two, without going hard every single day. And because it's just like life, and it's weird that like, you know, you would think a grandpa or an aunt will hit you, but it's weird that like Kobe hit me like that, you know, because I've been through a lot of death early on in my life, so you would think those things will, but no, that moment for me was like, oh my God, like, and I know there's been a lot of other victims, so I'm not just trying to focus on Kobe, but it was like all those, you know, 8 people lost their lives. Yeah. And I think, and you look at the caliber of the people that are there, they're all high performers. Like, it just shows you that, like, yo, like, don't leave anything on the table because tomorrow is not promised. And it kind of put me in this weird mode, like, you know, and I'm 23, but I'm turning 24 this year, which I also think is, like, kind of, like, eerie is weird. But it's just, like, you know, in my Jordan year, about to go into my Kobe year, and it's just, like, and I know that from this moment on, and from just 2020, like, my life has changed. Like, I can feel the shift. And, you know, I feel like once I turn 24, like, that's when, for me at least, the quantum leaps are happening. Yeah. From the 1 to 25, 30 to 40 to 100 mils, like, whatever. And, you know, now that frame of reference for me will just make me go 100.
I mean, I'm sitting here like getting emotional.
I know, I can see you, Rose. That shit got me shaking up, bro.
Me, it's like it's so weird to me. I've never had, you know, like in our lifetime, you know, Michael Jackson passed away. You know, Prince, Nipsey Hussle, like all those people. Especially Nipsey. Like Nipsey meant a lot to me too, but like it didn't really hit me like this.
It's different,
you know? And I think it's crazy to me to have someone never met, never saw. I've never seen him with my eyes, like in real time. Same. Never heard his voice in real time. Yeah. But like the impact, and not even talking about like the impact with me personally, like impact globally. Like you're talking about, we're seeing people, professional soccer players that don't even really speak English, you know, like representing. It's just like, man, like this is we truly lost one of the best people on the planet, one of the best role models for kids. Come on now. And my only wish is that, you know, I mean, like, I almost want us to forget about the basketball greatness. Like, let's focus on him as a person. Let's focus on him as a father. Like, there's so much there. There's so much for us to unwrap. And you know, I'm very grateful that, you know, he retired, you know, 3 years ago now, because he's been doing interviews and podcasts and kind of showcasing where his mental was. Yeah. And I think, you know, I mean, I've been spending a lot of time listening to interviews and stuff with him. And I think that's what's been messing me up too, is because I've been thinking about it and like letting it marinate. But I truly have learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And it just sucks, man. Like, I can't explain the emotions, man. Like, this is probably one of the hardest, like, hitting things. One of the hardest hitting bits of news I've ever gotten. Man.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not Kobe, man. That's what I think.
He was our Superman, bro. Like,
bro,
we thought he was invincible.
Bro, come on now.
Nothing could stop him.
Bro, come on now. 81 points. Like that. I know you're saying, but like his mentality.
No, I mean I'm not saying that we forget about the basketball.
I know, legacy. But like
I'm just saying that like there's more to it. But like
I don't think people understand
talking about
like
basketball legacy. Like you're talking about 4th all time in scoring.
Yeah.
And he didn't really play much his first 3 years. Didn't really play much his final 3 years.
Yeah.
And he finished top 4 in scoring. And it's like there's certain conversations we have to have when it comes to greatness. And I think one of the things too that I've been, I pay attention to a lot of articles and stuff that get written. And a lot of people are saying, like, it's time that we put to rest who's the best of all time. And they say that it's just time that we appreciate greatness. Like, stop having conversations about who's better and whatever. Just appreciate greatness and just live in the moment, And I think, for better or for worse, I think this is going to make us appreciate the final years of LeBron more.
Yeah.
Because this is the guy. Like at the moment, we don't really have like the next up super athlete.
King Zion. Watch them start calling that.
There's definitely like.
Watch them start calling that.
There's definitely potential. I mean, you got like Lamar Jackson, and there's the new female tennis player who I can't remember. There's a lot of names out there, but
for me, there's a threshold, right? And I feel like the fun debates and arguments are like who ends up on the Mount Rushmore, and once you transcend that conversation of like who's best right now, who's hot, who's most consistent, then I agree with that. Like, let greats be great. Let them be on the Mount Rushmore. Because at a certain point, there's no more conversation to be had. And we're not just saying this out of sympathy because Kobe died. We all knew that, like, and sometimes people be playing Kobe. I remember, like, you be seeing memes and stuff.
That's not real, bro.
And just be like, bro, don't do that to Kobe. And then I feel like he's definitely solidified in the Mount Rushmore of this all-time greats. The Muhammad Ali's, the Jordans, the Kobe's.
I think it definitely depends on the age bracket that you ask. I think that's why, it seems so much
winning. But like with Kobe, what I like, sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
There's a point of like, if you want to measure, there's a point of winning. I think I texted in the group one time. I was just like, yo, at a certain point, there's just winning. Mm-hmm. Like we can debate all we want. Like Kobe won. Yeah, he won games. He won chips.
Yeah, you can say outside he was selfish, you could whatever.
Outside of everything,
he's a 5-time NBA champion.
And in the game of who has more of ribbons or chips, and that's how we're measuring because that's what we decided is the prize. Yeah. He has chips.
Yeah.
And then who has chips, and you can't take that away from them. No matter how they got there. Mm-hmm. I don't love the way KD got his chips, but guess what? He got chips.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, if we could even go deeper than that. Like, do we consider number 1 best-selling books as chips? Do we consider Academy Awards as championships? Because if so, then we're talking about Kobe's an 8-time champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not only was he great on the court,
greats,
but he carried that same behavior off the court.
Whatever that reward is, right?
Yeah.
The Grammy. You got a Grammy. That's huge. That's a chip. Period. You got an Academy Award. That's a chip, bro. Because that's what we, whether you think it's losing steam or not, that's what we all care about today.
Right.
An American A still means an A. It still means something. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't define you forever, but,
Yeah. And I think one of the things that's been so powerful to me is to hear, hindsight's always 20/20, and these stories always come out when people pass.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing a lot of stories of, Jalen Rose and a lot of other former players talking about, like, Kobe was talking about being the best when he was 17.
Yeah.
Like, when he got to the league, he was telling everyone he was going to be the GOAT.
Yeah.
And, whether he made it or not, like, that was the mindset. And you can see it, bro. Like, how many stories have we heard about Kobe being in the gym all night long? Like, it's
that Drake line.
I've heard stories that, like, after playoff games, he was in the gym.
Oh.
Like, after they won playoff games, he'd be in the gym still. Yeah. It's just like there's levels of dedication, levels of focus.
How bad do you want it?
We can only strive to one day achieve.
And
he was, to wrap, like, he was one of the very few people who accomplish, or I guess achieve, the level of focus and dedication for a significant span amount of time.
Yeah.
Some people find that for a year, 6 months, they find that pocket, but he decided from a young age that pocket was going to be the standard.
Exactly.
He set the bar at dedication, focus,
exactly,
unhealthy obsession.
And for someone who relates to that, like, and I've been watching a lot of Kobe videos too, it makes me not feel crazy because I'm like that in the sense of like I want so much, I want this high level of execution, and it's just like, yo, if you want, because there's happiness and there's success and there's all these things, right? If you want that, if you want to be the best of all time, and you share that DNA, that Kobe mentality, quote unquote, and you're not just saying it, like you actually like get frustrated when you're not the best, like you cry if you lose, right? Or like you're upset and you put the work in, and like no matter what anyone says to you, you're like still like, yo, I'm not the best, like, and they might say it's unhealthy or whatever. Like it is that, because like for us, for him, like that's the thing. It's not the chip, it's not the money. It may look like all that. Those things come with it. Like obviously, like the contract comes, right? That comes with. That's how you know if you're like. That's how you measure yourself in a sense. But like being in that what you call pocket, undeniably you cannot beat me, right? Ooh,
unwavering confidence, bro.
I'm chasing that. I'm chasing that in the business world and life. Where like, yo, for this 30-year period, I was the best.
Yeah.
And undeniably, you get admiration that way, and that's not hype. That's not love. That is respect. When Kobe stepped on the court, you did not look at the game. 3 people on him. That's what you want. You want, if you chase that, you want that respect, that admiration. You want like, I am the best, and everyone knows, and you have to respect it. And you have to come the whole. You do not let Kobe just shoot the ball.
Right.
That comes with being in the pocket. That comes with. I'm sick, but I'm going to do this. That comes with being down and scoring 81. That comes with, like, last game ever going 60. Like, that comes with, like, just let y'all know that, like, when I'm on the court, when I do this thing, well, I think Drake does it. I think anyone that's the best at anything has that level of, mentality.
Better act like you know.
Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Amazon CEO, like Beyonce, like, when they're in that pocket.
Talent only takes you so far.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You're in that pocket.
That's like moral of the story, bro. Like you can be born 6'8". There's a lot of 6'8" people that aren't in the NBA.
Yeah, aren't in the NBA.
There's a lot of fast people that aren't on the Olympic track team.
Exactly.
And like deeper than sports, there's a lot of very gifted business people. There's a lot of gifted artists that never make it to that tier.
Exactly.
Because it takes a certain level of unwavering confidence. It takes a certain level of dedication, focus, sacrifice. I mean, like the list goes on, and to see, for me personally, like to see all those traits embodied in one person, and also have himself like stay good morally. Like it's just one of the most impressive things, because we hear stories, not to point shots, because these are just stories, but we hear stories about Steve Jobs wasn't the nicest dude. And I think to hear all the stories that are coming out now, it's like, yo, like not only was Kobe great at everything that he applied himself to, but he was also one of the most genuine people, caring friends, great father, great husband. Like the list goes on. And it's just like, it's one of those things that I think like this loss, as great of a loss as this is, I think this is going to turn out to be like a big lesson for, I hope it's going to turn out to be a big lesson for a lot of people. Like a wake up, I heard Jay Williams on ESPN saying like, something around the lines of like, yo, you never know when it's someone's time. Like put all that bullshit to bed. Like none of it matters, bro. Because if they're gone tomorrow, I guarantee your little argument about taking the last cookie, like none of that shit's gonna matter. And it's like, it's real. Like, there's a certain point in time when you gotta really decide on what is important to you. And I think Kobe is someone who embodied that 100%. I mean, even like coming down to why he had a helicopter in the first place. It's like I was listening to, he was on I think A-Rod's podcast. Some former baseball player. And he was saying that the reason he got the helicopter was because he kept being late to his kids' dance recitals or performances. And he was like, look, like I can't sacrifice leaving the gym early. I'm not gonna sacrifice that time putting in the work. But he decided that, you know, I'm going to get a helicopter so that I can accomplish both goals.
Yeah.
The goal of being a great father and the goal of being great on the court.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, man, like, and it's crazy, you know, it goes full circle, and that's the way he went out.
Yeah.
And, you know, my heart breaks because it's not only we lost him, like, we lost 8 other people, and one of those was his daughter.
Yeah.
It's like,
and other people's daughters.
And other people's daughters.
That's
and other people's parents. Like,
and his, like, sisters and brothers. And
you know, obviously, like, Kobe's the one that we focus on because we knew him, you know, but, like, there's really a lot of aching people.
Yeah, man. I just feel like it's just sad and unfortunate, man.
Yeah. This is one of those days, bro. I just, like, can't get him off my mind.
Yeah, man.
He was just on Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's podcast like 2 weeks ago. I've listened to it like 4 times today, just to hear him talk, bro. Like, just to hear him talk about being a father, being a player. Like, he was reminiscing on the old days.
Yeah. I
listened to him and Shaq's conversation together on ESPN.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, slowly as the hours go by, like, it's turning from sadness into happiness.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of good things and
a lot of things I picked up from Kobe. I mean, I have his book upstairs called Mamba Mentality, and it's just like basically like a PowerPoint of all the biggest moments, and he has a lot of chapters in there dedicated to the people around him that helped him be great. Yeah. And it's, you know, like on a moral level, like, it's cool to see him still appreciate, you know, small things. Like, he was even one of the whole sections of the book is about the guy who would tape up his fingers. Yeah. And, like, how much that dude was, like, a perfectionist and how much it meant to him to be in order to do that, and how much, like, perfection he applied to that, and how Kobe ultimately feels like that helped him get his shooting form right. Yeah. So it's just, like, to help, you know, to hear people talk like that, like, not only do they understand that it's not a one-person team. Yeah. That you need a unit of people around you. Yeah. You know, but not, like, it's just, man.
It's wild.
I just got a lot of emotions, bro. Like,
bro, I'm just, man.
They're they postponed the Clippers-Lakers game. I don't know if you saw that. Because the Lakers decided they didn't want to play. It's going to be tough, man. I think, like, when I hear, you know, I think when LeBron takes the mic, or however LeBron chooses to address it, bro, I think that's going to break me, dog.
Yeah, I don't think LeBron, I don't know how he's going to do that.
I don't know, bro.
Because they were actually, outside of just business, they were actually, like, homies.
Seemed like, like brothers.
So,
or father-son. I mean, however that relationship went.
Older brother, little brother.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that is.
But like I said, I'm happy it went out with the, like, you know, like, really.
The whole story is just crazy, man.
The last words we're ever going to hear from Kobe, I mean, the last tweet, whatever, is him giving props to another player. Yeah. And I think, like, that's almost, like, the best way. You know what I mean?
And it almost, like, that cements a lot of shit in history. And I feel like, in a weird way, it
leaves a good taste, right?
Great taste. And I feel like when you think about Laker history and you think about the iconic, man, if they win this year, bro.
Like, it's like, that'd be too much, bro.
That would just be, for me, where I'll just, like, that's just history. That's just, that is just beyond, that's just something.
Yeah. There's been a lot of, you've been seeing the pictures on Twitter of the new logo. People trying to get the logo to be Kobe.
Oh, really?
Like, pulling, like, a fadeaway.
That'd be hard.
And I think Jerry West actually was saying that him and Kobe were like father-son type relationship. Yeah. So, I mean, if that thing really does happen, like, you know, Jerry West would co-sign it. I guarantee it. Yeah. Guarantee he'd let it happen. Obviously, there's, like, branding that goes into that, and it would probably be too expensive to ever do. Yeah. But, like...
But they need to switch.
If it happened, like...
Why not Kobe?
That'd be, like, the biggest respect, bro. Crazy.
Man.
So, yeah, prayers up to the Bryant family. Prayers up to the rest of the families involved, man. I can't imagine the pain that they're going through. You know?
That shit's sad, bro.
Yeah. I gotta imagine it's harder for the parents, or the family, rather, that, you know, they aren't the Bryants. So they're not getting the same level of support. Or I guess I should say that I hope they are. You know, I hope that the people around them are showing them as much love as we're showing to Kobe.
You know, you know, when you think about fame and celebrity, I think the hard thing is, you know, once a significant other of that status passes, it becomes such a different way of mourning and grieving, because they're famous and a celebrity and they mean a lot to a lot of people. And so I just can't imagine if the wife of the the wife and the husbands and the family members of everybody involved didn't know they were dead yet, and they're getting calls by journalists, emails, and like blowing up their shit to find out if that is true.
Yeah, they're finding out via Twitter.
Like, I just I'm just shaken up to think that like if I lost somebody like that and the first call I got was TMZ to confirm my husband or my wife died. Like how do you know, like how do you?
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things.
Like, how do you? That's not even like so. Like for me, it's like I feel bad because it's like it's now such a public heightened thing,
right?
And you have to somehow, you know, like the wives and the husband have to now explain to the other kids and family, like, you know, Kobe has 2 other daughters here and a wife he left behind. So like now it's like she has to be able to explain to his little 2-year-old, however old she is, what happened, and the older one, and then she just lost, you know, and then everyone else involved, they just lost somebody, and now it's like a CNN, you know, Fox News headline story, and I think, you know, it's hard, you know, and it's like obviously people with all, you know, they're famous, they ask for it, whatever, but at the same time it's like, you know, we're all human beings at the same time, and I think we have to have a level of like, and people die every day, and I understand that, and in tragic ways too, and I'm just as shaken up about hearing crazy deaths like that as well. It's just like at that magnitude, you know, and like, you know, in the light sense, you know, he left a great legacy, and I think everyone there was so meaningful to sport culture and as them as people in life, and you know, I kind of made a joke. I don't know if I should say it right now, but I was like, you know, I feel like it's very Kobe Bryant the way he kind of went out, like
just dip.
It just kind of just like he just hit the 81 point thing, like it was a helicopter, and then he in 2020, like it's sad, like it's sad. Like I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but it's like if there's any way to go out as like a mega celebrity and someone who like
just
left
like all at once like that.
It's just like, and then, you know, I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm not trying to like, but in that sense, it almost feels like cemented. Like
that's the way he would have wanted it, right? I mean,
not would have wanted it, but like in the sense of like,
yeah, or I get what you're saying. It's hard to word.
We're getting dicey right here.
It's hard to word.
It's hard to word, but in a sense, is like legacy, right? Or like in the Rockefeller Brunch, like Kevin Hart, like how you want your chapter to end. I think that's a pretty
closing the book. Like
one of the greatest of all time to ever touch the basketball, and you know what I'm saying?
From us.
To go on like a war story, you know what I'm saying? Like a hero, which is just
that's the way to say it, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a hero.
Went out like a hero,
and I, you know,
didn't slip and fall, none of that. It was just
just like words don't even explain, bro. Like. Oh, let me get these tears out of my eyes, man. Yeah, not really too much else to say about all that. I think, you know, especially hearing, what really like hurt was hearing Shaq talk about it. You know, because obviously like, Mrs. Bryant, I believe her name is Vanessa. She hasn't made a statement or anything yet. Completely understandable, by the way. But, you know, to hear Shaq, who, at least to our eye, was like Kobe's brother, to hear him like, you know, I almost wish we heard his voice say it so I could hear the emotions.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to, you know, grieve alongside of him. That's the kind of, you know, it's the beauty and the ugly of like Instagram and Twitter. We don't get to hear the voice.
Yeah.
You know, but to just, you know, read through and look at the pictures that Shaq shared, man, it's just like, man, like he didn't lose a teammate, bro. Like he lost a brother. His kids lost their god uncle, you know, or their uncle. I think like they call each other uncle and niece and all that. It's like that family was tight knit. It's just like, but on the good note though, there's a lot to learn from Mr. Kobe Bryant, and I think a lot of people, hopefully listeners to this, and just anyone around the world, bro, like take some time, like listen to the hours and hours of interviews and podcasts that Kobe blessed us with, man. And just like soak in a lot of the gems and a lot of the information that he was preaching on. Because, you know, like there's certain things that he knows, you know, as a 41-year-old, like I'm only 23. I'm blessed to make it to 23. But like there's a lot that I can learn from someone who's in his position. He's accomplished things that I hope one day that I'm in the situation to accomplish. You know, I think the NBA dreams are over, but I think, you know, his level of dedication and work, that's the type of stuff that I'm trying to apply in my life. Yeah. So, you know, I hope everyone listening, if you're in a similar situation, or if you just want to appreciate his legacy, go back, you know, put the basketball aside, listen to the interviews where he talks about himself as a father, himself as a leader. You know, just listen to those.
Soak it all up.
Soak in all that information.
And try to apply it.
Yeah.
I think that's what he would want. I'm not saying I know him, but this feels
that's
like
how we should remember.
We should remember him.
And also spend time on ESPN because he's really that guy. Like, that fadeaway jumper is no joke.
It's no joke.
Crossover. He will shoot on 4 dudes.
Yeah. And he'll wet it every time.
So we're recording this on Monday, but tonight they're showing his last game on ESPN.
Oh, really?
And I'm definitely going to watch it, bro.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I watched yesterday was his speech after his final game. That shit broke me, bro.
I mean, even when he retired, it's such a big thing. We're like, oh, bro,
and it's like
out.
It's like what you said about like the way he goes out. Like, you know, he unfortunately he lost his life like a warrior, but like that's how he ended his basketball career too. Yeah, he went out on a 60 point. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just kind of just let everyone know what's good.
Just in case you forgot.
Was he coming off injuries? Like, it was like everything.
Yeah, he hadn't really played much that season.
Yeah,
he was doing the farewell tour thing, but like, you know, he was sitting out every few games. And then to go out with 60, you know. So, yeah, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Gigi Bryant. Rest in peace, the rest of those unfortunate members on that helicopter. Rest in peace, the pilot, man. Like, rest, you know.
Sorry, man.
Everybody hug your loved ones, man. Like, you never, like we were saying, like, you really never know.
This is a thank you to Kobe. I think that's what this episode's about.
Yeah. I'll title it that. Thank you, Kobe.
Thank you, Kobe.
Yeah. Oh man!
All right, y'all. I think we're gonna call it this episode. I think
you want to do a short one.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Grammys real quick.
No, I don't think I want to add the Grammys to this episode.
You just want to run it?
Yeah, just because I just feel like I just want to cement that. I want people to listen to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know it's like a short episode. I know it's not gonna be heavy in content, but I don't want to. Personally, man, like I can't stop thinking about it right now. So I don't think I have a good value or any hot takes on any.
Looked at the Grammys list, bro. Like,
I didn't even know the Grammys happened type shit.
Yeah.
So Kobe, thank you for everything. And
for real, man. Bless up.
I'm gonna go hard.
I hope you're giving, I hope you're giving Wilt buckets up there.
Yeah. He's getting every buckets up there, bro. He's probably telling everybody.
I saw a few cartoons of him shooting hoops through Angels' halos. That shit I be done. Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah. Man, for real. Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace.
That's it. Sad one, but also a happy one at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
It gave me so much fire, bro.
Yeah.
And I ain't just saying that. I'm being so serious. All right.
34.
34.
Peace.